Hello, 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 and Merry Christmas. Kind of lonely. Um, this is my first Christmas without my dad. Um, so I did talk to my brother earlier today, so that's good. You know, he lives in Philadelphia, a little bit outside of Philadelphia, actually. Um, so even if it wasn't cost prohibitive to get out here, he wouldn't be able to get out here because it is a mess in Philly right now with the big winter storm and all that. So, you know, um, I don't hold any ill will toward him. He's got his own family, you know, and, you know, let's see. So, yeah, that's basically why I'm on and why I'm having an open room. And, you know, I just decided to have this open room. So um, it's not like people had any warning. Well, like 10 minutes warning, something like that. uh, so, yeah, waiting for someone to come in. Um, Let me open another tab. Let me open another tab. And uh, then I'll give you the link and you guys can come in. I have enough room for 9, I think. So, okay, there's the link for anyone who wants to come in. And, let's see. Anybody's welcome. Anybody at all. There's only 2 rules. Number 1, do not talk politics. First offense, I will put you backstage as a warning. Second offense, hit the road, Jack. Okay? All right. Second rule, I do not want to hear the words ecostones or Shroud of Turin. Other than that, we're good to go. Any other topic is open for discussion. No political talk, no ecostones, no Shroud of Turin. First offense will be put backstage. And like I said, second offense, hit the road, Jack. You've been warned. Alrighty. Um, let's So I've just been doing YouTube today. I did get my debunk up for my members today, so that's up. If my members want to go watch it, you can become a member of my channel for as little as 99 cents a month. And you get debunks early, at least 1 day early. Usually 2 days early. I try to get them up 2 days early, but at least 1 day early. And then you also get cool custom emojis during live chats. And you can also use those emojis under the under my other videos, under my edited videos. So yeah. So you get those two things. I do have a Patreon. I've got one Patreon video up. So welcome to Patreon. I will be doing more Patreon videos, by the way. Let's see what else. Like I said, Merry Christmas. And if I'm not here on New Year's Day, which I probably will be, Happy New Year. Go ahead and watch my other stuff. If you like live streams, I've got live streams. I usually do off the cuff live streams. Like this one is. That's why I'm umming so much. And my edited videos lately, they've been all debunks. But I do have educational videos going back into my channel. My debunks are educational to a certain extent, but they're also entertainment. And I will go back to my purely educational videos at some point in the future. I just don't know when. Excuse me. Okay, whoever's here can come in if you want. The link is right there for you if you want to come in. Anybody's welcome. We don't discriminate here. Oh, and that's another thing. If you do come in, I will not allow you to put anybody down. And that is a first time offense banned from the room. I will kick you out first offense. You don't go backstage, you get kicked out. So this is your warning, And I will put the rules I will reiterate the rules from time to time. If anybody's going to come in, So, yeah. Oh, what am I going to do to kill time? Oh, I don't know. I could tell jokes, but My jokes are lame. So, probably shouldn't do that. Um, let's see, what else can I do? Well, I don't have a very good singing voice, but I could sing some songs. Ain't gonna do no hymns. Um, okay. First song. Do you remember me? I sat upon your knee. I looked to you with childhood fantasies. But I'm all grown up now. Can you still help somehow? Not for myself, but for a world in need. No more lives torn apart, and wars would never start, and time would heal all hearts. Every man would have a friend, right would always win, and love would never end. This is my grown up Christmas list. I better stop singing. I just ran someone off. Sorry, whoever was here. I'll stop singing. Um, at any rate, excuse me. Um, what else can I do? Come on in. Whoever is here, come on in. Anybody's welcome. Just tap on the link. Anyone's welcome. No hate, no judgment. Maybe a little bit of debate, maybe. But, no judgment. Judgment free zone. Um, and anyone, you know, religious or not, I don't care. Come on in. Everyone's welcome. So, anyway, like I said, I'm just trying to kill time because this is my first Christmas without my dad. And it's kind of, I, I don't, I can't really put my feelings into words. Um, it's just something you got to go through, I guess. And I was his caregiver, so um, we got pretty close. Um, I was the sole caregiver, you know. Um, so um, it was hard. It still is. Um, and it's harder right now because of the holiday season. Come on in. Everyone's welcome. Come on in. Just hit the link. Um, excuse me. Um, well, since it's just me, I had a Marie Callender's turkey dinner. No reason for me to just cook for one, right? And I wasn't planning on going anywhere today anyway. So, I mean, it's not like anything's open except, the hospital. I haven't had to go there for a while. That was that was another computer that I have. Yeah. Um so anyway, it was supposed to be wood, but it's plastic. So anyway, but yeah, come on in. Excuse me. Um, if nobody's gonna come in, I'm gonna shut this thing down. Go for, I don't know, till 30 minutes or so. Try to figure out something to talk about to fill the time. But come on in. Click the link. Doesn't matter who you are. No judgment zone. Doesn't matter who you are. Religious, non religious. We don't care. My peeps and I, we don't care. So come on in. Just tap the link if you want to. No pressure. Just inviting you just in case you want to. Okay. Well, let's see here. Nobody's coming in so far, so I gotta do something. Alrighty. Um, what can I do? Oh, I know what I can do. Um, hang on. Okay. Alright. This is what I'm gonna do till somebody wants to come in. I love making fun of these idiot people. All right, you can see that, so I'm going to mute myself.
Wi-Fi plus unlimited data.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security. Together for $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement.
That's the church of a preacher named Roy Masters.
Come out. No, I won't let her go. No.
And I'll stop when somebody wants to come in, so don't let this scare you. I'll get rid of this and I'll talk to whoever comes in. But, yeah, isn't that fake as fake blood? I mean, come on. Really? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. You expect us to believe that shit? Yeah. This isn't real, people. Satan's not real. Exorcism isn't real. Well, I mean, it's a real cultural phenomenon in that these people think they're being helped. So it's real in their mind, but it's not real. All right, moving on.
Exorcisms of the devil appear just as sincere, far out, and dramatic.
Lust to power.
Sincere and dramatic. Dramatic, yes. Sincere, not a chance in hell. See what I did there?
With a background in show business rather than theology. Show business rather than theology.
First hint, folks. He had a background in show business, not theology. Gee, I wonder if there was any coaching involved. Gee. Nah, couldn't be. These people are too honest for that. Moving on.
Indeed, the Army does officially recognize Satanism as a legitimate religion. And so
Yes, Satanism is a legitimate religion. The IRS even recognizes Satanism as a legitimate religion. Church of Satan, the Satanic Temple, you know what's not legitimate? Satan is not legitimate. These organized churches hinging around Satan are atheistic, meaning they do not believe in Satan. They have Satan as a symbol. That's all it is. And, as soon as somebody wants to come in, just click that link and, I will stop and talk to you. You can come in and, I guess I could do something more Christmassy, huh? Like, say, give play a clip of why Christmas is not Christian. Christmas actually Christianizes a pagan holiday. In Rome, it was called Saturnalia. Yule is also wrapped up in Christmas, even though it's celebrated a little before Christmas. But yeah, all of these pagan holidays, they're wrapped up in Christmas. But anyway, remember the rules. You want to come in, you got to abide by these rules. No political talk, and I don't want to hear the words Ecostone, and I don't want to hear the words Shroud of Turin. You get one warning if I hear those words, or if I hear any political talk. I'm going to put you backstage. You get one warning. And, but if you try to tear anybody down, you get no warning at all. I'm just going to cut you off. It's hit the road, Jack. You know, I may let you come into another open room, but I won't let you come back into this open room. All right, keep going.
Applies chaplains with this guide for ministering to the satanic soldier. Some charge that army bases have become sanctuaries for devil worshippers, and the graffiti.
Bullshit! Fucking bullshit! Yeah, this was all debunked. All debunked, people. But for some reason, people are still buying it. People still buy this shit. They believe it still happens. Anyway, let's get off of this. And let's try something more Christmassy. Okie dokie. So this is a History Channel documentary. Now, History Channel used to be good. I used to love History Channel, but now they're into these weird conspiracy theories. And, you know, not sure when this was made. It was put on, it was uploaded to YouTube 8 years ago. But I'm not sure when it was made because it was made for the History Channel. Come on in. Tap the link. Anybody's welcome. Come on in. I will quit presenting this if somebody comes in. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know when the History Channel became less history and more conspiracy theory, nutballery, but that's basically all the History Channel is now. So take this documentary, quote unquote, with a grain of salt. Anybody's welcome. Come on in. Okay, here we go.
The Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. It's hard to imagine a Christmas in New York without it. But like many Christmas traditions, the tree is a relative newcomer to the Christmas story. Only since the early 19th century has the decorated tree been an important part of the American Christmas celebration. Hello.
Maybe the American Christmas celebration, but it's been part of European Christmas celebrations for quite some time. In fact, before modern decorations, they would decorate their trees with candles, which meant a lot of houses burnt down around Christmas. Anyone's welcome to come in. Just hit that link. That's why I put it in there. Open room. Come on. Anybody welcome. Religious or non-religious. Don't matter. I'm not going to attack you. Nobody's going to attack you here. No judgment. Judgment-free zone, people. All right. Going on.
I'm Harry Smith. Welcome to the History Channel. Christmas trees, candy canes, even Santa Claus seem like they've been around forever. But many of these Christmas traditions are surprisingly recent. Join us as we look back at how a holiday that started in pagan Rome became the centerpiece of the Christian year, and why this season
Yeah. This pagan Roman holiday became a central piece of the Christian year because it Christianized a pagan Roman holiday called Saturnalia. Gee. Come on in. All you gotta do is press the link. I'll stop reviewing this. I'll talk to anybody. So come on in. But anyway, but yeah, Saturnalia. And by the way, Jesus was not the quote unquote only savior of the world. I know Christians want to say that, but he's not. Other religions have had saviors of the world. Other religions have had dying and rising gods. Other religions have had virgin births. So, yeah. All right, moving on.
season is known as much for shopping as the birth of the Christ child. Stay with us for Christmas Unwrapped.
Yeah. Come on in. Anybody's welcome. Religious, non-religious, it doesn't matter. Judgment-free zone here. Come on in. But yeah. I don't know about in other places of the Western world, but in America, it's the highest rated retail season of the year. All right, moving on. Anybody's welcome. Just, tap the link. I'll let you in. I don't know who's in here right now, but if you want to come in, just tap the link. That's why it's there. No judgment zone. Religious, non-religious. I don't care. It's just a few rules you have to abide by. No political talk. And I don't want to hear the words Ica stones or Shroud of Turin. And, you get a warning on those. I will put you backstage and I will let you back in. If you denigrate anyone, no warning. You will be kicked out. I may let you in another open room if you denigrate someone in this open room, but yeah, those are the only rules. Anybody who wants to come in can come in. Anybody who wants to talk, let's talk. Anybody's welcome. But as for December 25th, if Jesus was a real person, which I believe he was a conglomerate, if anything, but, he wouldn't have been born in December because the sheep aren't in the fields in December. But yeah, alrighty, moving on.
It is a story everyone knows. After a rude refusal by a local innkeeper, Mary and Joseph bedded down in a barn in Bethlehem. The next day, Mary gave birth to a son.
Unfortunately, the story's not true because this census or what the fuck ever it was supposed to be never happened. So yeah, Jesus of Nazareth had to be born in Bethlehem somehow, and that's how the story came about. But hey, it's a good story, right?
the Son of God. Those are the biblical origins of Christmas. But centuries before Jesus walked the earth, early Europeans were celebrating light and birth in the darkest days of winter. In the Norse country, this winter celebration was known as Yule.
This is correct. And instead of a Christmas tree, Yule was celebrated with a log. Anybody's welcome to come in. Just click on the link. I'll let you in. I won't pick on you, I promise. But yeah. Instead of a Christmas tree, Yule was celebrated with a log.
Around December 21st, the winter solstice, fathers and sons would drag home the biggest log they could find and set it on fire. The Yule log warmed, but it also looked ahead. Each spark was said to represent a pig or calf to be born in the spring. Also dragged inside were evergreens, the one plant that could make it through a Norse winter. Evergreens proved that life persisted in this dark time.
This is where the Christmas tree tradition started out, but definitely not the decorated Christmas trees of today. Most families I know of don't use real trees. At least my family never used real trees. Back in the day, they probably had to because they probably didn't have artificial trees. But yeah, we just didn't really want to bother with the sap and all that crap. Hey, scapegoat. Come on in. I'll stop doing this stupid. I'll stop commenting on this stupid thing if you want to. Oh, I haven't gone to sleep yet. The link's there if you want it.
There's a natural attraction to that which lives through the winter when one is struggling to survive through the winter. The evergreen is that part of nature that seems impervious to the coming of winter and the diminishing of the sun. And so it's an absolutely natural symbol, one which I think we react to almost without thinking about.
For as long as the Yule log burned, about 12 days, feasting and revelry reigned supreme.
I'm guessing that's where the 12 days of Christmas came.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, scapegoat, what you doing?
I am just sitting around to get this set up here.
Yeah, let me stop sharing this. Wrong thing. Wrong button, Lisa. Dummy.
I need to get off camera.
Hmm? What was
Ooh, you
that?
gotta get way out of the. I gotta get way out of the scene to get off the camera. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, I've got a lot of bubbles going on in this room. Lots of fish.
Gotcha. So, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah, we can make it say Merry Christmas again. Aren't you so happy?
I'm happy that I'm out of that fucking religion.
Yeah.
But, Christmas is still fun. I mean, if you've got family to celebrate it with. I mean, I'm not complaining because my brother's not here. I understand why he's not.
Because who's not here?
My brother, he lives
Oh.
in Philly,
Yeah.
So, like, even if he wanted to come out here, he couldn't because of that big old storm.
Yeah, for real. I'm afraid we're going to have more storms like that as well.
Yeah, probably. But hey, the West always gets the cold first. So, we didn't have any snow today, which boo hiss, snow on Christmas. But we did get some snow earlier. I live in a valley, so we usually get snow around 3 times a year.
What state are you
We
in?
get freezing rain, but
What state are you in? Or
Oregon.
country? Oregon.
Yep, I'm an Oregonian.
Oregonian. I had a chance to go to Oregon, work on a weed farm. I turned it down. I said legalization's too far away to start that career.
Well, tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
But it's working its way to getting legal in the entire U.S.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to take a while for North Carolina. Some Republicans are going to have to retire or die off for that to happen.
Yeah, but there's no political talk. I know I brought it up, but
There's no what?
talk. No political talk, please.
Oh, yeah.
I said I know I brought it up, so
Yeah, yeah. You'd have to cut me off of that probably pretty regularly because I turn to it so quickly.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle it right now.
Right. Well, there's just so much insanity going on in the news. I decided to tune in because you've been on here 39 minutes when I woke up and got on the phone. You've been on here 39 minutes. I thought, wait a minute, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
I think I'll tune in.
Yeah. So, is that an angel you got on top of your fish tank, or is that a heat lamp?
It's actually a regular lamp laid down with some reflective stuff over top of it to kind of push the light down into the tank.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I had a shop light. I usually have a shop light over the tank. And it burned out recently, so I just haven't replaced it yet.
Gotcha.
Oh, and all those sparkly tongue things. There is Christmas lights strung around the top of it. I forgot about that.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah, I breed guppies. So I've been breeding guppies for
Yeah,
about 6 huh?
you know, we used to keep fish. We didn't breed them or anything, but one time we accidentally got babies, and they were live birth babies
Right.
instead of eggs. And we didn't know we were supposed to separate the babies from the adults because the adults would eat them.
Yeah.
And we woke up one morning and the babies were gone. And we were
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing how that happens, and the reason it doesn't happen so much in nature is because the babies get away.
yeah.
And
But
here,
we weren't planning on breeding, you know. It wasn't like we went to Walmart and said, we want to start breeding and we want male fish and female fish. You know,
yeah,
it was just whatever you get is what you get. Whatever's in the net, you know, whatever
yeah,
we catch in the net.
right. When it comes to live breeders, it can be that way. Some people will want to be specific. Others just, grab a few of them. And live
Hey,
breeders are like that. They want to breed. What?
yeah. Hey, Greg. Just tell him, Greg, hey.
Oh, I can't. I am on a cell phone.
Uh-huh.
So I'm on a cell phone, so I can't see. Oh yeah, I got a button here. It says chat.
It's 11 here, Greg, so it's still Christmas. Oops, scapegoat. Lost you. That's okay. I'll wait for you to come back. So this is Christmas. Okay, there you go.
It for trying to operate it.
Oh no, that's okay. I figured you didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, I actually learned a little bit more about evolution, having been raising these guppies. I wound up a few years ago, about 2 years into the hobby. I ended up with a blue guppy. It was all blue, had some markings, snake skin pattern, whatever it had, but it was solid blue, and it was a giant. It was a freak giant. If it were us, it would be like equivalent of 8 feet tall or something. Just stupid giant male guppy. And I thought, well, I'm breeding him. He's going to get saved. And then I ended up with like 6 or 8 blue ones. Now I've got these years later. Now I've got to where about 10% of the guppies are blue.
Mm-hmm.
And blue is the reason I'm doing it is because, well, the blue is beautiful, but after having done it and sold a few guppies, I learned that blue is one of the rarest colors in nature. Everything's green, red, orange, but you don't see a lot of blue. You don't see a lot of blue flowers or a lot of green flowers. It's another odd one. But anyway, so I'm doing that and listening to Aaron Ra talk one day. I think it was Aaron Ra I was listening to talk. It clicked. I realized why the evolution works in that way. And it's the process of stress in the in one's habitat. Something changes, and some of the creatures born are not going to suit that. I'm not going to sit here and try to explain evolution, but that's I saw it.
I mean, it kills me. It kills me that creationists deny evolution when we use fucking evolution every single day.
Right. I use it. I make blue guppies out of guppies that are not blue.
You know,
no,
I mean,
sorry, I
look at,
said that wrong.
yeah, I mean, look at bananas.
Yeah, well, that's God's perfect fruit. I mean, that fits in a lot of places.
Bananas
That's a joke.
weren't that when they started out.
No, they were actually quite football shaped, and they looked very
and seedy.
Yeah, they look very unappetizing. They look nothing like our long yellow banana.
Yeah,
And nothing at all.
Yeah, and
I would guess that they don't taste the same either. I bet the ones we have are probably different somehow in taste and texture.
Probably. Yeah. And you know, and look at pigs. You know, we bred pigs for more rib meat, you know.
Yeah.
So it blows my mind that they're like, oh, no evolution. What do you think we've been doing for hundreds of years? Probably thousands.
I just point them towards, the dog. Look at the Great Dane and the Rottweiler and the Chihuahua and the Shih Tzu. Look at these dogs. They're all dogs. You can actually take the sperm and egg of any of these dogs, regardless of size, and put that together, and it will form. It'll go, because they're dogs, and we did that. We people did that. They didn't evolve on a mountain somewhere else, and another one evolved in the plains of Africa running down animals. No, we made all of the dogs that we see. Not one is natural. Exactly. Not one that's domesticated. Not one at all. Chihuahua, Great Dane. Come on, give me a break. We did that, and there ain't no such thing as evolution. I mean, I'm relatively uneducated, except for the fact that I've educated myself throughout the years. But here I am uneducated, and I understand how it works.
Orange taught me a lot.
Oh, Orange, God, I love that man. He is just he looks like Satan, and he's got the heart of an angel. If an angel were good, you know what I mean. Colloquially, do you find it irritating that when you use words from the Bible, or like angel or heart, or you talk about something from the Bible, do you find that you're speaking it as if it's real, and you really don't want people to think you believe it's real, but you have no other way of speaking about it other than to sound like it's real? Do you ever notice that?
No, not really. I'm pretty much enough removed from that kind of shit now, you know.
Well, that's good, because I'll be talking about it, and I'll be like, now I don't believe, and I'll clarify it. I don't believe what I'm saying here, but I'm, this is what the Bible says, and then I'll go back to saying it. Like, no, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
but
I say you'll probably hear in my presentations, whether it's debunk or whether it's a live presentation, I'll say, now I'm talking about this as if it's real.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, now I remember you saying that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm giving it to you for sake of argument, because this is the only way it's gonna work.
Right. I think I've heard I believe I've heard doctors or scholars say stuff like this. They'll preface it by saying, now if we were to take the text as is, then they'll blah blah blah. So that may be a way I can remember to separate it.
Yeah.
Having gone through self-indoctrination from the age of 21 to 47. I understand why so many people in the churches, different churches, found me alarming, because I was the adversary. I was Satan. I asked the questions. I held God accountable for rightness, and he couldn't be, because he did or commanded some horrific things. So
Right.
no wonder they looked at me like, the devil's got that boy's mind in a knot.
Well, if you've been brainwashed into Christianity like I was,
Cold.
it's just like, well, he's God, so God can't do anything bad because he's the definition of good, which doesn't make any goddamn sense when you think about it. But as long as you don't think about it, that's the whole point of that fucking religion. You don't think about it.
Right. Certainly, you can't consider any of it, because it's all just a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that God said they would die in the day that they ate the fruit, and
they didn't.
They did not die. And the Christian will say,
Well, they died spiritually.
Well, that don't count, because that doesn't count, because they didn't fucking die.
Exactly.
I don't care if they died. I don't care if they died in your imagination or their imagination or God's imagination. They didn't fucking physically die. So he told the truth. And another big question is, why would a father want to keep his children away from knowledge, keep them ignorant? Later on, he tells the Jews, my people die for lack of knowledge. Well, you kept it from Adam and Eve.
Yeah. Well,
you don't make sense.
Did you see my Lisa's Bible? Hey, Spooky. You can come in if you want. Just hit the link.
I can't see anybody.
Oh, that's okay. Greg and Spooky are here right now. But anyway, I rewrite the Bible. If you've seen Lisa's Bible, have you seen any of my Lisa's Bible?
I've seen quite a few of your videos, but I don't remember one. It's a series, I guess, entitled that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of it. I heard the most recent one, actually.
Let me see here.
I've noticed you have some insights into the Apostle Paul, things that I never heard of. Matter of fact, one of the first times I heard your show here, it was on Paul and how Paul's claims and his life and recorded in Acts. Shit ain't adding up, Paul. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I was just surprised. I said, I read this for 33 years now. I've read this, and I missed that. How did I miss it? Because it was something to me after you said it. It was obvious to me, but not before. I was really impressed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Paul's a dumbass.
Yeah, I'd love to have, if you ever go through the book of Acts again, I'd love to go through it with you, because just to, not with you like a co-host or something, but I'd like to go through it while you're going through it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll be going through it in Saturday live stream. See if I've got this up on the screen.
Do you go through the book of Acts every Saturday? Is that what you're saying?
I'm going through the Bible. Right now I'm in the
the Bible.
Okay, Spooky. Good night. All right. Okay. Here we go.
Ask your doctor about Entresto to see if it's right for you. To learn more, click our ad for full prescribing information and visit Entresto.com.
Sounds like a movie theater. Yeah. Yeah, part
Hi
of
guys, coming at you with another Lisa's Bible. I'm going to keep this entrance short, so please subscribe. And for the Jews, I don't want to disrespect any of the Jews. This is for young Earth Christians. This is how they read the Bible. Today I'm rewriting Genesis 2:17 from the NIV. It reads, "But you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for the day you eat of it, you will certainly die." Now, I'm not going to get into the theological problems with this verse because that's not what this show is about. This show is about rewriting the Bible the way the young Earth Christians really read it. How do young Earth Christians read this verse? Well, they read it as, "But from the tree of knowledge you shall not eat, because I'm afraid if you do eat from the tree of knowledge, then you'll find out that what I've been spewing is a bunch of bullshit." And you actually might learn something that would disagree with the worldview that I have taught you. And we really wouldn't want that now, would we? That's it for this video. Please thumbs it up if you enjoyed it. And leave a comment down below. It helps the algorithm. Also,
Sum it up, baby. Yeah, it's a mess.
yeah, so that was one of my earlier Lisa's Bible. Hey, Midnight.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Hello,
good stuff.
hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and good Tuesday. I don't know. How you doing, Lisa? It's been forever, girlfriend. How you been?
I've been doing great. You know, I've been you know, I've been staying off. I've been watching YouTube and doing my things with YouTube, you know, like my live stream, but I've been staying off live streams and not doing open rooms lately because of my anxiety. But you know,
Oh, I know. It's so fucking stressful in these goddamn rooms, especially with the theists and Jill and Beckel and all these. Ah.
I don't.
well, you know,
I've never encountered Jill or Veckel. I've seen them come through a chat and troll a minute or two, a few comments. They throw comments like rocks and then run away. I mean, some of them, not all.
Jill doesn't like women. He'll come into my live chat for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Jill doesn't like women. Well, he's actually been in streams where there have been women present, so.
Right.
Yeah, well, but he doesn't let him talk.
If he doesn't respect women, then
like
he
every fucking time I try to fucking talk, he talks over me. I'm like, shut the fuck up and let me talk.
Well, Scapegoat isn't even respecting you because he was talking over you, and so was I. So I wasn't respecting you either, and I apologize.
No, it's fine. But Jill, he does it all the fucking time.
Well, there's a difference when somebody does it and they recognize they do it, and so if somebody does it and then they don't do it and they do it again, it's probably somebody like me who I recognize them doing it, and I go, if I notice it, I check it, I stop it. That's the difference. There's a lot of people who don't a lot of people who, or seems like a lot of people who just don't, they're they're not self-aware. So if they are, they damn sure don't show it.
Yeah.
But
But
what
when you
is
tell somebody to
self-awareness?
shut, sorry, Midnight.
Well, like me, when if I talk over somebody, that's something I had to learn. I had to recognize that I was doing it, and actually, I think it was somebody who pointed it out to me how often I did it. And when I faced it, I was like, okay, you got to check yourself always. If
Yeah.
someone, because somebody may interrupt me while I'm saying something, but it's okay that they're interrupting, because what they're going to say is going to add to what I'm saying, and then when they're done, I'll continue on with whatever it is I'm saying. I see that in conversations and debates.
You know,
Not so much debate.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Interesting thing about self-awareness. It's something I've always wondered about. I remember reading a book called Insight, entitled Insight. I forget the author's name, but she had an interesting like an interesting statistic that stuck out with me. Like 95% of people in the world, believe they're self-aware, but only 10 to 15% of them actually are. Right? Because
Right.
because if somebody says, "Oh, they're self-aware," they're probably not. Right? Like self-awareness.
Right, like
It's
me
just
right now. I'm saying that because I'm not naturally self-aware. Apparently, I'm not naturally self-aware. It's something I have to check myself on. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
what you're saying might be true of me. I may not be very self-aware, and that's why I have to check myself on it. So I
But
am self-aware because
but the interesting thing is that even like say if you were to question whether you are self-aware, that is one of the signs that you're self-aware, but you may not be. Good God, psychology is fucking insane, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
Damn, we don't.
Yeah.
But you know,
That goes into consciousness. Sorry, go
Joe
ahead.
is another thing entirely, because I tell him I'm talking, right? He overtalks me, and I tell him, shut the fuck up, I'm talking, let me finish, and he doesn't shut the fuck up. That is totally different.
Oh, totally different. Yeah, Jill should not address a woman if he's not going to talk to a woman. He's not going to respect a woman because he don't have a vagina. Maybe he wants a vagina and don't have one. Maybe he wants one and can't get one. But if he is not going to respect a woman or a lady or whatever you want to say, then he shouldn't be addressing them.
Right. And I
Just don't even talk to me.
When he wants to overtalk me, I just tell him, Jill, just suck my steel vagina.
I've heard you say that. When you get old, you can say, "Shut my rusty old vagina." Hopefully, you'll get old.
Well, I'm 45 right now.
Stainless steel vagina, baby.
I'm 38, so I'm older than all of you. Just kidding. I'm like young.
I'm 50-ish. I'm in my early 50s.
Oh, Midnight's the baby.
Why did you have to put it like that?
Baby.
Come
well,
on,
I
man.
didn't mean like
I love
your
your-
diaper baby.
I really like your accent, Midnight. Where may I ask where you're from?
Well, I'm originally from Italy. Europe's boot.
Yeah, the boot of Europe. Yeah.
I always felt bad for Sicily because it always looked like Italy was kicking the shit out of it.
Yeah. It's fitting. It's fitting where the Pope lives, because the Pope kicked the shit out of Europe for 1,000 years before Martin Luther said, Fuck
No, but
you.
it's funny. It's funny. It's really, it's really funny when you look at a map, right? Like
Yeah.
Florida is basically the U.S.'s nutsack. The U.S.'s placid
That's
dick.
Oh shit, man!
the
I've
pan.
never heard Florida.
I mean, just look at it. Just look at it.
I know now that you mention it, it does. Well, it looks more like a penis than a nutsack.
Well,
Yeah,
no. The penis, the nutsack is there. It's just shrunk, right? The penis. I mean, look at the map. Come on, fold it up.
looks like maybe the nutsack was scooped out in the Gulf area. Nutless America, the big cock of America. The panhandle's the tank.
Oh my
I
goodness!
mean, come on. Canada is our fucking hat. A maple leaf is our hat. Come on.
Oh God, I love Canada. I should know. I should learn the anthem of Canada. As much as I like Canada,
Hell, I don't even know how it goes.
I don't either. I've heard it maybe once or twice on TV.
And I'm actually thinking of moving there.
I wish I could. I wish I could take my disability check to Canada. If I thought Canada would go for it and America would continue my disability, yeah, I'd go to Canada in a heartbeat. I'd love to get out of here. I'm in the South. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm in one of the old slave states of the South. And there are old people. There are people here who have that attitude, and to see that attitude in somebody who's 45 years old is normal. But to see somebody in their 30s with that attitude is disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people want war. They want to have slavery again. They want to dominate people with their version of religion, and it's disturbing. Huh? Pardon me?
Politics.
One more time, pardon me?
Politics.
Yes, politics. Yeah.
Politics.
Oh,
Yeah, he heard you. Scapegoat heard you. Politics.
Yeah, I have to be corralled occasionally because.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Hold on.
I mean,
I know.
You did tell me that.
Yes.
As long as somebody tells me that,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna warn them.
Scapegoat.
See, that's a part of the self-awareness that I don't have.
Well, scapegoats, because I know you were saying it as a joke that you need to be corralled, but all I can picture is you being tied up when you say that.
Yeah, well, no, I was being serious. I am very verbose. I think I'm pretty sure I'm on the spectrum of autism because.
Well, you know what to say about self-diagnosis.
Yeah, well, a lot of what they say rings a bell with me. I do some of these things, but anyway, yeah, I'm very verbose. I'll talk.
I mean,
oftentimes I've got to be corralled.
I mean, oftentimes autism may just be social anxiety, or it may be both. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I just like learning about it because. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. See, I'm trying to do it again.
I just really like learning about psychology and how the mind works, and it really fascinates me. It really fascinates me how our mind works, how how others may see stuff that we don't see, how we may see stuff in others, how how others may see stuff that isn't there. Well, it's insane, right? Our minds are just insane, right? The way we can delude ourselves, the way that we come to understand the world, and the way our minds just create reality, right? Because the words
create.
Well, Lisa agreed with me. What I mean by create
Yep.
reality is that is that the way you view the world is the way is the way you'll see the world. Like if you say if you say I'm I don't know, Lisa, help me out here. I'm finding
Well,
I'm
okay,
thinking of
it's like
examples. Go
like
ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry.
somebody in the Western world, right, may have sleep paralysis, and we know about sleep paralysis, or a lot of us do, not all of us, but a lot of us know about sleep paralysis. So we'll experience sleep paralysis, and we'll think, and we'll say to ourselves, I'm just going through some sleep paralysis. Whereas someone from an Eastern Muslim country might say, oh, it's a jinn, because they believe, if you don't pray before you go to bed, a jinn's going to have sex with you during the night or something like that, and if that's your belief, that's fine, but
yeah, but that's your
objectively,
reality.
I wish a jinn would have sex with me at night.
I mean,
yeah, or
Like-
before we knew about sleep paralysis in the West, it was demonic possession. Some people still think it's demonic possession,
Oh, Lisa, I've got some sleep paralysis story. I don't know if I'd tell it if you want to hear it now, but it happened back when I believed in spirits and ghosts and demons and God and Satan and devil. It was a trip.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff will mess with your mind if you get into
It's sleep paralysis. Regardless of what I saw that night and experienced, it's sleep paralysis. That's all it is.
yeah,
But I didn't believe that at the time.
People in the past didn't really know it was sleep paralysis. I mean, there are some people today who still see it as demonic possession, which okay,
you,
I guess whatever.
It very much well was. When I was a believer, there was no room for anything else. The light darkness, the swirling above my head, the fact that I could not see my roommate's bed at all, just a foot of it where the light was barely coming through from the street light. It was dark, and then all of a sudden everything was okay. I could see again, and the light in the room was there again. It was all spring. It's just my brain was not perceiving the light that was there because I was in a half sleep state. It must be, because that's what sleep paralysis is. Paralyzing of the body, while we know what it is, it's paralyzing of the body, so you don't lay there and kick and thrust and try to fuck and everything else, whatever your dreams are.
Yeah,
you gotta be still. And it was a trip. I looked up, and there were just massive swirling. It looked like leeches, but they were like flying, just swirling above me. The room was dark with a street light coming in the window. It was still dark, and just spooky. And I totally believe, I had no doubt in my mind that even if the Bible were wrong and this was not the actual God of the universe, something happened that night, and it was demonic. It was very bad. It was horrifying. And but now I see it for what it is. And I don't know if it was the stroke I had in 2016 or if it was the fact that I become an apostate a few months earlier. I left the Bible, left God, and I said, no, I'm done with this. I'm better than you. I'll be better than you. Burning in hell, I'll be better than you. And enough of this. You just were a horrible God in the past, and you don't do anything now if you exist at all. And a few months later, I had the stroke, and then I read the Epic of Gilgamesh, and I didn't believe in the Old Testament anymore. And Jesus, as we know, is a check written on the bank of the Old Testament. It's written on the bank of Moses. And if Moses was false, his Messiah's got to be false too. I was free. I don't have panic attacks anymore like I used to. I don't worry about going to hell anymore. Tell you what, being free from a religion actually set me free. That night when this happened to me, I screamed out loud in joy. I must have been the most joyous, happy deconversion that was. It'd been long years coming, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of envious. I don't have a deconversion story because I never believed.
It's
I
like
know,
being
it was
born.
just
It's like being born again, except really good. When I was born again at 7 years old, and I was told about the Jesus who will burn me in hell if I didn't love him a whole lot and let him forgive me of my sins, making grandma upset and everything. That was my sins. So I was scared to burn in hell at 7 years old. Jesus was the most horrifying fucking thing that can happen to a child. If
It
that
ain't
child
love.
is thinking about hell and burning in hell because he did something wrong.
It ain't love if you got to do it.
Yeah, it ain't love if you rape me or torture me if you don't. If I don't let
wait,
you.
hold on. I have to correct you on that. It's
Okay.
there are people out there who are into that.
Well,
sadomasochism. So
yeah, it's the performance.
Well, yeah,
I get it. I accept it.
That's consensual though.
I know, but it's still.
Hold me down, Daddy.
Yeah.
I knew you were a sub.
I knew it.
But
knew it.
Yeah, but it's just when I actually found out I didn't like deconvert like all at once, but when I finally figured out that I didn't believe in God anymore, I actually cried.
Oh, Lisa, I'm sorry.
I was like the opposite of you.
Right. I understand.
But then I gradually got to accepting, because it's not like I choose my beliefs,
No, you're convinced or you are not. Is that correct?
Well, technically, Lisa, you can choose your beliefs in the sense of rewriting them. You know what I mean? Cognitive behavior therapy, I forget the other one.
I mean, you can.
Yeah,
But
I agree with
going through
rewriting.
like a deconversion process, and that's not really.
Yeah, when you hoped in God and you really hoped in that forgiveness and hoped to wake up in that land, in a meadow with flowers real gently, and then a few people come around you, and it's really happening. I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. When you expect that, and then it don't happen. See, when my mother died, I really died. At that point, I died, and I just hope that she made it to heaven. I knew I probably wouldn't, but religion is horrifying to me. Christian religion was nothing but a fucking bloody horror show. Love me or I'll burn you forever.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to go back to some religion, it would either be an Eastern religion like Buddhism or
Buddhism.
Wicca.
Yeah,
I'd probably go back
Wicca would be
to
fun. Wicca would be fun.
I'm familiar with Wicca.
I carved a wand out of like an 80-year-old piece of mahogany recently. Mm-hmm. It's a snake that ends up on the handle end to be a penis head, and the other end just wanders off as a snake.
Is it like the sign of Asclepius?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I've spent all my life in the Bible, so I'm relatively ignorant of the world.
Gotcha.
So what is this?
Well, I'm ignorant of where I am now. Where am I? Who are you people?
Yeah.
Asclepius
But
is
if
the
the days go
snake
by,
on the staff. You know, the one
pardon me,
that
say it again.
the double snake on the staff, the one that you
Oh,
see like for hospitals.
yeah. Yeah, I carved that into my bass guitar. It's the medical sign.
Yeah.
The two snakes. It's two. I think it resembles two cobras fighting, two mamba. I think it is cobra or mambas. I've seen them fighting, and they roll like that, roll
Yeah.
over top of each other, trying to get the upper hand.
But that's called the sign of Asclepius.
Okay, Asclepius. Then I know now what I carved on my bass guitar.
Yeah.
Carved it into the wood burning, burned it into the face of an acoustic bass. Turned out nice, actually. Anyway, I'm verbose. I get sidetracked. I say a bunch of things that have nothing to do with the conversation.
It's okay, buddy. No judgment here.
But yeah, that Jesus fella, yeah, his blood all dried up now. It's all dried up.
And the weirdest thing about that is that the Tanakh says that human sacrifice is an abomination. And yet we're supposed to believe that God sent his son in human form to be a human sacrifice. What?
Accepted the burnt sacrifice of Jethro's daughter. Is it Jethro? I'm not saying that right.
Jephthah.
Thank you, Jephthah.
Yeah, that story doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah, I mean, and you know
Life
the Christian.
itself doesn't make sense, Lisa. Come on, let's be honest.
You know what the Christians say about that story.
But you know, but God's according to Tanakh, aside from the Jephthah story, God specifically says human sacrifice is an abomination to him. Hey, Robert.
Who?
Robert X.
And you know, Christians who will defend it will say, well, he didn't actually accept that. She went off to live a virgin for the rest of her life. There's nothing in that story to indicate that anything other than her mourning her death happened.
Exactly.
Nothing in that story can be pulled out to make one think that anything but that happened. It's just horrifying.
You know, and another thing that
I
gets
never make. I'm
these
sorry.
That's okay. These
I never
biblical literalists, they call themselves biblical literalists, right? But they pick and choose what they want to take literally. You know, if they were actually biblical literalists, they wouldn't be young earthers because the Bible says nothing about a young earth. They would be flat earthers because the Bible specifically says the earth is flat.
Yeah, somewhere in the Bible it says that the earth turns like a sealed scroll.
Are you in the back rooms? What's going on? What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was putting some water on for coffee, and it got loud. Yes, I don't have the headphones on.
Well, no, I'm talking about like what I'm seeing. I feel like I'm watching an episode of the back rooms.
You're looking at the ceiling because I have a shirt on, and that's it.
Oh, gotcha.
So
we don't want to see his family jewels.
No. So I got this thing pointed at the ceiling.
Oh, nice light.
I did wonder whether he was wearing pants.
Because no sense in lying about that. No sense in lying about shit where the truth will do.
Yep, like I said, no judgment here.
Right. Oh. You know, I play guitar, and I've often wondered if I should make some recordings and offer them to people I know if they want some free music to play, you know, in an intro or an outro or.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it, you know?
Wouldn't be anything worth anything. I mean, I can play nice, but still, it's not. I'm no Jeff Beck. I'm no BB King.
Yeah. I wouldn't know because I've never heard you play, but I get that.
Right.
I mean, I used to play piano, and I never really.
Oh, mercy.
You okay there, buddy?
Excuse me. I have no idea how loud this might be over there. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Dry out. Just the atmosphere is dry. I need it.
Well, in Oregon, it's it gets humid this time of year in Oregon, so you know.
Lisa,
Yeah.
so thank you for having me on. I'm going to go scapegoat. Put on some pants.
Okay. For God's sake.
Leave him alone.
Dingle dangle. Dingle dangle Christmas.
I mean, he's in his own home for Pete's sake.
Well, it's an apartment.
Yeah, he may be in his own home, but it doesn't mean I can't tease him about it.
Doesn't mean you can should wear clothes.
Okay, Midnight. See you later.
Well, have a good night, sir.
Bye.
Later. I've heard him on a lot of rooms. I don't go into too many rooms because they often turn into a shit show, and I can't stand the anxiety and propaganda and the garbage.
Yeah,
I like
I try to keep my
conversations
room
more.
under control. You know.
Pardon me, say that again.
I try to keep my rooms under control. Like, usually my only rule is you can't be nasty to anybody.
Don't be a dick.
Right. And if you do, you don't get any warning whatsoever. You get kicked out. But you know, that's usually my only rule. You know, I just put in some other rules to keep me kind of calm.
Yeah, if I were running a room, I don't think I'd even give a warning. I'd be like, if somebody shows some kind of sign that say something, show that they're a disingenuous actor, just drop. Yeah, let the conversation continue. I enjoy conversations more than debate. I went through a time when I watched debates, you know, during my deconversion.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I just hit a wall with it. I was like, I'm tired of the debates, and I wanted to hear conversation, and there's not as much conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a back and forth individual. You know, listen to what the person's saying and respond, rather than a formal debate type, which is why I refuse to debate people. You know, Matt, what's his face? Powell.
P-word. Matt, the P-word.
Yeah, Matt Powell, he challenged me to a debate, and I'm like, Matt, I don't debate. Matt
doesn't debate either. Matt doesn't know what debating. He doesn't have information to debate with. He shows up and shows his ass.
Well, neither does Kent Hovind.
Right, exactly. They don't debate. They just show up. They expose themselves for what they are, and they offer a what is it? It's kind of like a channel, an avenue for somebody like somebody else like Aaron Ra or science guy. I can't remember his name. Professor Dave Explains. Somebody like them to come on and counter, all the garbage that they pour out, because you know as well as I do. Somebody can make a statement that's 30 words, and they can tell 10 lies, and it'd take 5 hours to undo those 10 lies.
Oh, yeah.
You can't unpack lies in the same time it takes to lie. I think it's impossible because of the research behind it to prove that it's a lie. It's just impossible to counter lies with the same amount of time.
Exactly.
And I almost got political. I caught myself because I'm not self-aware.
Well, you were that time. Congratulations.
But there is something to what Midnight was saying. Is that his name? Did I get that name right?
Yeah, Midnight Sparkle.
Midnight Sparkle. I need to address people as they are. Midnight Sparkle. Yeah. There's something to what he was saying. The reason I'm so sensitive about being self-aware is because I have been woefully unself-aware and caught myself in not being self-aware. I'm like, oh, that's what I was doing. Oh, that's shameful. Okay, I stop.
Yeah, but I mean that we're all that way sometimes,
Well, some of us make the adjustment. Though some of us will take their shoes off, try to put another pair on, and step back and out of the situation and look back at it. I have that ability to do that, and I believe there's some people who cannot do it. They can't do that brain process. Whatever that process is, they can't do it. I believe that. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm open to my mind being changed, but I do think there are people who cannot they cannot make that mental change. So like a psychopath who is violent, not a psychopath who is not violent. That's a different story. But a psychopath who is violent, I don't think they're able to, even under duress. If you were to put a gun to their head, I don't think they could make themselves see themselves from another viewpoint, from the victim. I don't think they can do it.
Yeah.
But that's just what I think. So I have this idea, and I would love to run this by Forrest Valkai. I have this idea that since the DNA forms the body, it dictates whether you'll be 6'4" or 5'2". The DNA dictates whether your eyes will be blue or brown, etc. On and on. So your DNA dictates how your brain will form. Will it be small, big? Will it be bigger in the front, bigger in the back? It dictates the shape of it. So in a way, the DNA dictates or has a direct influence on what the brain will produce as far as a mind. And so I kind of think that the mind can be no better than what the brain can actually produce. Can people grow and go from extreme violent hatred and racism to peace and love? Yeah, they do, and that goes against what I'm thinking. But I just wonder if that's true. And now I've just drawn a blank, and I don't know what I was talking about. That's one of the reasons I don't go on shows, is because I will draw a blank in a heartbeat.
Oh, that's okay. I do that all the time.
And I'm talking about a full blank. Like you could tell me what I was talking about, and I may not remember. like, that's bad. What was I was talking about? That's what I was talking about. Oh, really? That's pretty bad. You drop that much of a line. I was talking about. That's what I was. Oh no!
What?
I heard an echo, and I thought
that was my computer. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, it's been nice talking to you tonight.
Okay.
With you.
So you're gonna go?
No, I wasn't going to go. I just want to tell you, it's nice to chat with somebody, especially one of my YouTube people.
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, it is nice. You know, I miss coming into the open rooms, but lately I'm just like, I don't know whether I can handle it or not. You know, not even like, you know, with my rooms, I can control them. You know, so it's fine. You know, as long as I don't have to yell, you know, which I generally refuse to do in my own rooms.
I must confess, when you start yelling or cussing, either one, it kills me. I don't know why, but I crack the hell up every time. You rail off and go, "What in the fuck was Paul thinking?" I just fucking die laughing. That's why I hate missing your shit live. I hate it. I want to give you my telephone number so you can call me as soon as I'm going live. Get on. I won't miss it, neither.
Well, you know, I have heard one or two people say, you know, it took me aback the first time I heard you cuss because you got such a nice voice.
Right.
Like, yeah, but I mean,
that's right. The sound of your voice and the timbre or whatever they call it, the pitch of your voice, different things about your voice, and maybe even some of your mannerisms. I don't know, but something about you just doesn't say that, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? And it's kind of related somewhat to Eric Cartman. And Eric Cartman is the kid everybody loves to hate, and that cracks me up. You don't sound like Eric Cartman now. I'm just saying it. The comedy effect is like that of Eric Cartman. What in your head?
Thank you, but I don't even know who Eric Cartman is. So.
Oh, okay. Well, then you don't need to know. I'll spare you that. As a kid, everybody loves to hate. Everybody who knows him.
Like a Bart Simpson?
No. Have you ever heard of South Park? Cartoons of South Park?
Yeah. Are we talking about the guy with the football head then?
Football helmet?
Football head. You know,
I don't.
The baby.
No,
wait a minute.
That's Stewie Griffin.
That's Family Guy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Stewie. The South Park is the group of kids with they're just, I don't know how to explain South Park in a few words. South Park is a philosophical phenomenon in America. That's what South Park is to me. It's almost a counter myth.
Well, you know, it could be a satire.
The writing is wonderful. To me, I'll say that about South Park. The writing is wonderful, but it's in your face. They'll walk up into the face of Scientology and just one of the characters was a musician. I can't remember his name. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm not even going to try. He's a black gentleman, actor. I think he's a musician, but I think he's an actor as well. And he played the part. He played one of the parts in the show. He was the cafeteria guy. Chefy baby is what they called him. And when they did their piece on Scientology, he resigned. He quit the show because he was a Scientologist. He had no choice. They were shitting on his religion in his mind. He had taken part in shitting on every other religion because that's what South Park does. Everything, political stuff, religious stuff, culture stuff, social stuff. They exposed it for the bigotry and the racism it is. That's what South Park does, and they have a lot of fun doing it.
Scientology's a cult, so
Very much a cult. It's a
Isaac
horrible
Hayes.
cult. I mean,
Isaac Hayes, Greg says. He eventually died in poverty, sadly.
oh yeah, what did they say? You have to tell me because I can't see any comments. If I hit chat, I've already tried it. If I hit chat to try to see it, it'll unplug me completely.
Greg says you're talking about Isaac Hayes.
Yes, Isaac Hayes, yes. He played the role of Chevy, baby. Yeah, childrens. We're going to get sexy in the kitchen. Yep, Isaac Hayes. He quit. I mean, he just, no, I'm not doing the show. He didn't even do the show that he quit over. I couldn't believe that. I just could not understand. Back then when it happened, I couldn't understand why would your religion have you so that you wouldn't even, I make fun of Christianity and I'm supposed to be a Christian. Actually, I was a bibliophile. I wasn't a Christian. I believed the Bible and I believed what I thought the Bible said, not what the pastor or the scholar might say about it. If I didn't understand it, I didn't believe it. I didn't put no cash on it. So I guess I should say I was a bibliophile. Would that be right?
Probably. Not really.
I worshiped, held at the greatest value the scriptures, and they were just revealed to be wrong left and right as the years passed. And I finally got to the point where, okay, some of the Bible is God's word.
Yeah. I mean, when you get...
Not all of it, but some of it.
When you get to understanding what the Bible really says, and I'm not saying I understand it all. I'm not...
Of course, I understand.
I'm not that kind of person that I'm going to say that, but I understand a lot more than the average Christian does.
Yeah, a lot more. I've learned from you, and I've been reading for 33 years now, and I've learned from you. So yeah, you can say some stuff, because like this stuff about Paul, man, it blew my mind. It was like I can't remember now what things it was, but you were looping Paul's life as said in Acts to some of the things he said in the letters, and you're like, well, which is it, Paul? It can't be both fucking ways. You ain't magic. And start ripping on him. Here I am laughing and learning shit I've never heard ever from anybody else. I was like, damn, who is this woman? What is your study, and what is this thing about Paul that how do you you
okay?
I might be. Barely. It's really dry in here, and I, for some reason, can't find. I see it now. It's just dry in here. It's making me cough. What is your education in the Bible? Because you obviously have some, even if you're just like me, an autodidact, teach yourself.
Oh, I'm mainly self-taught, but I do listen to Rabbi Singer.
Yeah, I would benefit from listening to him, and he's not boring. He's not boring.
And I also read scholars, not like the older scholars like Martin Luther and those types, but the more modern scholars.
Right.
So I'm self-taught.
Right. Yeah, I can't read.
Yeah, no formal education.
I can't read. I read right off the page, into the floor, out the window. My imagination goes into what I'm reading, and I'll be reading a page and realize that I'm thinking about what I read on the other page, and all I'm doing is just mechanically reading out the words and not actually taking it in. It's just a scatterbox brain. It's why I'm disabled. So I get most of my stuff through listening. The first time I could afford. No, but I'll say this: I made myself read the New Testament because the New Testament was where salvation was. It's not in the Old Testament, so I didn't worry about that. I read the Old Testament, and I made myself push through that, and it took a year for me to get through. With all the stop and read again. It took me 1 year to get through the New Testament, and I know that's just to sit down and read it does not take that long, but that's how long it took me at the age of 21. I started reading because I tested my reading, and I started reading the Bible at 21 with a 5th grade reading level, and now I can read 12th grade, 9th level, whatever that means. I can read college stuff, but now am I going to perceive it? Maybe not. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. I can read, but it's a struggle. It's deciphering the code as I'm drawing the picture of what it is, as I'm trying to hold that and continue. Reading is just fucking mess for me. So
I'm sorry.
I learn more from listening.
Yeah.
And I had to say 250 words to say it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have trouble reading, I can understand that.
I wish I could. I love it. I love the feel of a book, the turning of the pages. And there have been some things that have caught my attention so much that I have read it. I've read some books, but it's not likely. It's not been often. And yeah. I used to, the last Christian scholars I listened to, I don't know if I'd call them scholars actually now, I wouldn't, but was John MacArthur, and I do not refer to him as doctor. I listened to John MacArthur, who was basically, what do you call that? I can't remember the denomination, but
evangelical?
No, John MacArthur was more the tulip, the 5 parts of the tulip. What is that?
Calvinism.
Yeah, he is Calvin. He won't confess that he's Calvinist, but that's what John MacArthur is. He's a Baptist Calvinist kind of mixture. And
most Baptists are Calvinists. Calvinist isn't really a denomination.
It's just a theology.
Yeah.
Right.
So most Baptists are Calvinists.
Okay. Yeah, Baptist church is one church I could not be in. I learned that really early in life. Baptist ain't for me. I need some forgiveness. I need somebody that has some respect for the word and don't just get up there and holler. I knew that was not a church I could go to. Y'all missing the point here.
Yeah, it always makes me a little sad that Christians are like, oh, our religion's all about love. Then why are you all about hate?
Well, some of them go back to the Old Testament and that thing that says, do I not hate what you hate, O Lord? Oh Lord, do I not hate what you hate? So they kind of focus on the hate part. They got to show God how much they agree with him so that they won't go to hell. They won't be rejected. That's what I think.
Yeah, they got to suck God's dick. Or
Yeah.
they think they got to suck God's dick.
You got to find out how he likes it. So, and they think he likes hating women and the gays and the witches and warlocks and
Anybody who's not like me.
anybody who's not like me can go to hell.
Yep, pretty much.
That's it. Yeah, religion is a terrible thing to happen to a mind.
I'm glad I got out.
I'm so glad you did too. I'm happy for anybody who gets out. And I know when somebody does get out, I know that they are self-aware. They can look at their religion from another point of view to see. Eventually, they gave in to logic and reason.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for anybody who leaves it, because they're not leaving it for ridiculousness. They're leaving it for logic, reason.
Yeah, and
That I can bless.
That's why I can still, to some extent, sympathize with those that are still in. I mean, not the charlatans, you know.
Yeah, the fearful ones.
I don't give a good goddamn about the charlatans.
No.
No,
I don't either.
But anyway, yeah, like I usually say in my openings when I'm dealing with Eric, I usually say I have a little bit of sympathy for Eric because
Who's
he's
Eric?
a bastard for a dad. Hovind.
Who's Eric?
Eric Hovind.
Oh, yeah. I think he's my problem with Eric is I think from his body language and his the way he is, I think he's like his dad. I lost any compassion for him when I realized that. I'm bad for that. I probably shouldn't do it, but when I see somebody who I feel has told on themselves and that they're a bad actor, like Matt Powell, he is so bad. He has no excuse. I don't care what your God says. I don't care if your God does burn you in hell. You should tell that God to fuck off. If your God wants you to hate gays, think that women are lesser than, think that you can't rape your wife. I don't know if that did I just screw up saying that word on your live stream? Okay. If that, I won't say it again though, but if you think you can't root your wife when you're married, you are a piece of shit, and you should be rebuking your God idea, not embracing it. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I did.
Well,
draw another blank. You have to tell me what you were saying.
I just drew a blank too.
It's okay. Damn it happened to us both.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
I do too.
Must
I
not
really
have been important though.
There's what?
Must not have been important.
Well, if the really important things will come back. Now, the inspirational things are not in the word of inspirited, like a spirit comes into you, but colloquially, I guess, inspirational things may not come back. If I have an insight into something, if I don't write it down, it may not come back.
Yeah.
But some important things, like things you have to do, that's going to come back just because it is to do.
Yeah. But I know what I was gonna say.
Good.
And I've said this before, but it always bears repeating, at least for me.
Right.
If your God wants to burn me in hell for simply not believing in him or not agreeing with him, then I would rather burn in fucking hell than be in heaven with him, because being with that kind of a dick would not be heaven.
It's not a choice. There's no choice to make.
Right, exactly.
I guess I put that to you as a question. Is there a choice to make? Because there's not for me. I can't placate a megalomaniac, genocidal megalomaniac. I can't placate that thing. I don't want to suck up to him. I'm sorry. I'm better than you. I'll be better than you in hell.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just couldn't take it anymore. It's 2016 was a strange year. I became an apostate. I had a stroke, a major stroke that I got the medicine really fast. And I was at the hospital in 10 minutes. So I got the medicine really fast and made a remarkable recovery. And then I become deconverted. And all of it happened within like 6 month period, 8 months at the most. And when I as I was learning to play the guitar again, I won't call it relearning. It was just slow. It was a little slow. That's all. But when I started playing the guitar again, it was like I made a deal with the devil. I was playing blues. I was playing stuff like unto, not as good as, but stuff like B.B. King and like Eric Clapton. And I was like, where is this coming from? I've never been able to play this before. Never been able to play blues. You know?
Well,
I can learn something in a sense like I'm learning like a parrot would learn from his master, you know. Hello, Paul McCracken.
That's more
now I'm
common
jamming.
in strokes than you might think.
Pardon me?
That's more common in strokes than you might think, that you
damn sure
can come
happened.
back and do something a bit better.
Well, I'm going to give Satan credit for it. I'll say I made a deal with the devil after the stroke, and he let me play guitar. Me and Satan, I'll write a blues song. Me and Satan got it all worked out.
Yeah. I forget, who was that?
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
There was this blues guitarist that he was from Mississippi, I think. And he was a black man that tried playing the guitar, and people were saying he was like awful at playing the guitar. And then he went off for 6 months and came back and played the guitar beautifully.
Yeah, come back. Robert Johnson. Yeah, I know you're talking
Robert
about
Johnson.
Robert
Thank
Johnson.
you.
It's lovely. Yeah, that was Robert Johnson made I think he recorded 12 songs on 28 different recordings. 23 different recordings. Something like that. He had a number of songs, about 12, but he recorded some of them in a different like tempo, different kind of music. And like 20 some recordings and all. And that's all we have of Robert Johnson. And that's the oldest blues we know of. So he's known as the godfather of, or the father of blues. I think they call him the father, not the godfather of blues. Mysterious man. We don't know anything about him. Robert Johnson made a few recordings in a can and went away.
Isn't he in the 27 Club?
I believe he, I don't know. See, now you got me wondering. Now I want to Google it, and I can't risk getting cut off.
Okay, I'll Google it.
All right, yeah, because they'll say when he died, where he's born, and everything. I like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a nice airport to take off from.
Yeah, so give me a sec. Give me a sec to Google it.
Okie doke.
You know what the 27 Club is, right?
Yeah, Janis Joplin, Hendrix, The Doors.
Yes, Robert Johnson is in the 27 Club.
Died at 27.
Yep. One of the
Satan.
earliest.
Satan done call his children home.
Yeah, one of the earliest, it says,
Yeah, must
in the
be, right?
47
Right.
Club.
What did he die in the early 30s? Let me guess. I'm gonna guess. 1933.
38.
1938 he died.
Yep. You were almost right.
It's been a long time. I love the blues. God, I love it. I had a thought yesterday when I was playing guitar. Maybe it was today. Anyway, the music never stops. The song's got to end. You got to stop and go on and do something else. But the music itself, it never ends. You walk off singing it. That's one of the best thoughts I've had in a long time. Other than the politics, which we don't talk about here, turning to a good sign.
Isn't there a song that says something about the dance never ends?
Probably some, or a song refers to life as a dance that goes on.
Well, I know life's a dance. You learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance you learn as you go.
Now, who did that song? That's familiar.
LeAnn Rimes, maybe?
Oh, yeah. That's country. I hear it now. I can hear it in my head now. And I'm thinking about the dance from can't remember his name, country artist. I'd have had to miss the dance. Life's better left a chance.
Dance. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd have had to miss the dance. Well, I'll tell you what, I think I was like I was 18 when that come out. That broke my little heart. That song just tear your heart out, throw it to the floor, stomp on it, feed it back to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that do a lot of stuff with dance. So, life's a dance, stuff like that.
I hadn't thought of that song in years, and now I've got it in my mind.
A lot to play in the playoffs.
Oh, rejected.
I understood just how much.
Did you hear the radio for a minute?
That was my computer. That was another window.
I thought we were on the radio.
This is talking about a basketball player from Villanova. So that's not a song. So, I mean, there might be, obviously. Because, like I said, there's a lot of songs that do stuff with dance.
Yep. Dance into the Night, Phil Collins album. Dance into the Night. Dance occupies a place in a lot of songs. Oh. Figured out how to turn the camera off, and it didn't cut me off. I'm surprised. Dang, we've been on here for 2 hours and 14 minutes. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Womack, LeAnn Womack.
Oh, that's
Dude,
who
I
did
Hope You Dance, not LeAnn Rimes.
No,
I got
LeAnn Rimes.
LeAnn right.
Yeah, LeAnn Rimes come about many years, probably a decade or so later, or more.
But LeAnn Womack did the I Hope You Dance.
Oh, there's a real sad country song. I Hope You Dance, or whatever the name of it is. I had a kid years ago, and mom moved to California. Only saw him a couple of times after that. He's grown now. And I couldn't take country music anymore. I literally just quit listening to it altogether. I didn't want my truck back, didn't want my wife back, didn't want my dog back. I just wanted to leave country music.
Well, I don't listen to all country music. I
After
only listen to a few modern country artists like Leanne
right.
Womack. But I do like the older country artists like Hank Williams,
Patsy
Jr.
Cline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
me too.
people.
Um,
But Garth Brooks, which I guess you could say is an older, not old, but
he
older.
was just at the edge of the older artist and coming into the new artist in the 80s. He was right on that edge. So some of his stuff was of that edgy new country music. Hell, he may have been an influencer being that early, but it country music certainly did make a shift, didn't it?
Yeah.
But that's okay. Everything evolves. I mean, if it lives very long, it's going to have to evolve.
Right.
There's no religion evolves. You know, I make these fish evolve. I make them evolve in a certain way. If you're blue and you're pretty, you get to breed. If you're not, you get to go to the other tank. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Controlled breeding. I don't know what they actually call it, but it's obvious what's happening in evolution. I'm putting an unnatural pressure on the guppies, forcing certain ones to breed. Not forcing them, but allowing certain ones to breed, and the others go to the common tank.
Yeah, it's called artificial selection.
Artificial selection. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. I figured you'd get that eventually, but you know.
I may or may not have.
You know, so you wouldn't have to. I know sometimes if you're anything like me, it drives you nuts when you can't think of something.
It can drive me nuts, but it's so frequent that I have learned to accept it and just move on and tell myself that if it's really important, something that must come up again, it will come up again. If it was something like art or inspiration, it may not, and I just accept it.
Yeah.
Like I've come up with rhymes either intentionally or not in the shower for some reason. And I really need to get a wax pencil so I could write on the glass slick tile. I really do. I need to buy a wax pencil because some of the best lines, whether it's philosophical or poetic, some of the best lines come to me in the shower. They do.
Well,
something meditative.
I mean, I believe you.
Something meditative about it.
Deconverter, where you live?
Yeah.
He says it's bleeping cold here. You can cuss on my channel, D. You know that.
Remember, I can't see any. I'm going to risk punching this chat button and see if I can see chat.
And he just says bleeping cold here. I was wondering where he lived. He may not be on anymore.
Do you see anything in chat, Lisa?
Not since he put out bleeping cold here.
Do you see a question mark?
Not on my StreamYard.
Okay.
Let me get to the.
This comment in chat. Okay.
It's -3C here in Germany. That was from Robert.
Oh my God. Oh, now I see it. It's under comments. The way I'm seeing it, it's under comments, not chat. I can see everybody's comments, but it's way too small for me to read, so I still can't read it. That's okay though.
So anyway,
What did you think about? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay.
I'll remember this. No, go ahead. I'll remember this. It'll come up again. It's big enough. It'll come
Go
up.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right. What did you think about McKinnon's documentary on Hovind, The Weakness of Hovind?
Oh, trying to remember if I've seen that yet. I have a lot in my queue line.
You
that
have
I haven't watched yet.
you haven't seen it yet. If you're not aware, huh?
Who put it out?
I can't remember the gentleman's last name. His name is, I think it's McKenna. I can send. I'll drop you a link on one of your recent videos or something later on.
Oh, that's okay. I can search for it. The Weakness of Hovind. Well,
The Weakness of Hovind. It's about 2 hours and some odd minutes, and this guy takes Kenneth Hovind apart and lays him out on a table. And when it's done, it's a masterful. If you don't know if you've seen it yet or not, I'll tell you, you haven't seen it because you'll love this documentary. It really takes him apart. It leaves no stone unturned, no bone unbroken.
yeah. Yeah, I have seen it.
You have?
McKinnon Mitchell is who made it.
Yes, McKenna Mitchell.
But yeah, I mean, I can answer that in one fucking word. Narcissism.
What? Oh yeah, the weakness. Yeah, it's narcissism. Yeah, very narcissistic. I'm afraid Kent Hovind may be worse than narcissist. He may be sociopath. He may
or a psychopath.
Well, if he's a psychopath, he's probably got himself under control. But I think he's at least narcissist and psychopath at the worst. But again, if he's a psychopath, he's probably not killed anybody, or he would have fumbled it because he's stupid as shit. He would have fumbled it up if he's killed somebody. He'd have been caught.
Not all psychopaths kill people.
Right. Yeah, that's something I'm having to relearn. I didn't know that, and I'm looking into psychopaths on YouTube. I encountered this doctor who discovered that he was a psychopath because he and his colleagues were going to do a test on psychopathy, and they couldn't find enough willing participants in the prison systems that they were involved in. They couldn't find enough willing, so they said, "Y'all, let's just do it ourselves. We'll do it." And so they did. They all did it, and of course his test come up psychopath. And he said, "Well, that explains a lot in my life. That's why I take the kids on vacations and we go do risky, fun stuff like fall over a waterfall or something that drives mama crazy." But and he said it explains why I wasn't so emotionally touched by my daughter's first breakup with her first love, it didn't bother me, and I was like, I hate it. I really hate that it's bothering her, but I didn't feel it deeply like other people felt it. You know, her brother and cousins, friends, they
Yeah.
obviously felt it deeper, and I didn't, and that's why, because I'm a psychopath. That was I can't remember that doctor's name. Of course, I can't remember much at all, but that was
Yeah,
truly
psychopaths
eye-opening.
make great CEOs too.
Lisa, they might make the only CEOs.
I mean, because they just don't care.
No, and they can't. I venture to say that they can't. They're incapable. They cannot wear somebody else's shoes. You know, not even if they were coerced to do so. Some people just don't feel it.
Yeah.
But again, that's my opinion, and I'm always open to change my mind. A word about the word belief is something else I've encountered recently. I see now that I don't choose what I believe. I'm convinced of what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced of a thing, or I'm not convinced of that thing. But either way, I do not choose to believe something, whether it's true or not, whether I can tell it's true or not. I don't just choose to believe it. So we're like, for instance, what I just said about whatever I just said, I can't hardly half remember it. But I'm open for my mind to be changed on it, because what I want is to know what is true, regardless of what it is, even if it's ugly, even if I don't like it. I want to know what's real and true. So
Right.
the word believe to me, when the Bible says you must believe in the Lord Jesus Christ to be saved, well, I can't. I don't qualify, because I can't make myself believe a really shitty story of salvation.
Yeah. Well, I was a Christian for a long time. I mean, I was gung-ho believing for a very
Right.
long time. And it just grates me the wrong way when I tell people that I am not a Christian anymore. It grates me the wrong way when they say shit like, well, you never were a true Christian then.
If they had been one of us, they would have never left us. The fact that they left us is proof that they were never one of us. That's what John said. They're supposed to believe that. But you're familiar with that, I'm sure. You know that.
Yeah.
They get it from John.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the first book of John. So that's the new No True Scotsman is right there in somewhere in 1 John. Bible's full of fallacies.
Yeah, it is.
Some of them are quite funny.
Now, if you read the Bible as allegorical, you can say then, if you read it as allegory, that it's infallible. But if you're going to say you need to take it literally, which nobody does.
No, you're right
I
there.
mean, even if you say you're biblical literalist, like even Ken Ham is not a friggin' biblical literalist, because he recognizes that some stories in the Bible are parables. I mean, he will fucking say that.
Right.
But he will turn around and say he's a biblical literalist. Which is it, Ken? You can't have it both ways.
Right. That's exactly right. Ken Ham is a lost cause. Anybody can stand in front of a crowd and say, well, I can say there's nothing going to change my mind about Word of God. Nothing, well, if nothing can change your mind, that means you're not looking for what's true, but you're looking to have this true or not. You just confessed, you just told everybody you're a piece of shit You don't care about what's true. You prefer a thing. Book says it, make my book be true.
Of course, if he really
Said
took
it.
his book literally, he would believe the earth is flat and not young. Because the Bible never says that the earth is young, but it does say the earth is flat.
I believe the earth. I believe the Bible got the earth right when it said the earth turns as a seal to the clay, like a seal from Sumer. You'd run a stick through it and run it across clay, and that would be, your seal, your family, or your name. So I thought the Bible got it right. The Bible got it right. The earth is round, and the earth turns like a seal to the clay. I really believe that stuff, man. I don't know what the Bible author meant when they wrote that, but I know that they didn't know that was true. They didn't know that the earth was turning on its axis in a sense.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. I don't know what they meant.
saying so.
You could probably ask the rabbi. He'd probably know.
Oh yeah, he would know what the other rabbis throughout history say. I need to check in with Toby Singer. I need to watch some of his what do you call lectures?
Yeah.
I need to watch some of his lectures because I know I never did focus on the Old Testament because salvation was, in the New Testament. I had to focus on that to make sure I got it right so I didn't burn in hell forever.
And he's a treasure trove of information.
Yes, I know precious little about the Old Testament. I mean, I know something. I know enough to know I like the Jewish culture that I know of it, the things that they had to do as a family. I kind of like that. But other than reading the Old Testament as a Christian, or as a bibliophile, I should say, I don't know much of it. Dr. Joshua Bowen has clarified a whole lot for me.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. He's one of my go-tos. Him and Rabbi Singer,
Yeah.
If Dr. Bowen can't clarify it, then I'm like, well, Dr. Singer or Toby Singer probably can.
Right.
But anyway,
Dr. Bowen saved me from believing in the alien myth. I thought there were a few months, maybe 5 or 6 months, where I thought that Enki and Enlil might still be alive from Sumerian literature because they lived through thousands of years. And I bought into the Zecharia Sitchin thing before I learned from Dr. Bowen that Zecharia Sitchin more than likely didn't know enough about the language to not make that mistake that he made. And gods don't need spaceships.
I'm sorry. Is Zecharia Sitchin the Planet X dude?
Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I believe that the Lord Enki might still be alive for a few months. Then when I encountered Dr. Bowen, he was like, no. Here's what happened. So yeah, I actually believed that Enki and Enlil and the whole flood story, that was the real thing. That's what really happened. The earth was really seeded by aliens. That's why we're so different from the animals. I don't know. Could you imagine the mindset of a person who believes like? I'll put it this way. I believed it was more possible that Enki and Enlil were still alive, or that at least some Anunnaki would come back when the planet swung around this area again. I believed that was more likely and more likely to be true. I mean, than the Bible that I'd believed all my life.
Well, I was dumb enough to be a young earther, so.
Lisa, you were shame. How do you live with yourself? Is that why you're not? Is that why you're not on camera? I'll tell you why I'm not. If you tell me why you're not, I'm not. I'll tell you why I'm
I
not.
come on camera sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not on camera because I honestly don't want to be identified by nobody and have, I'm a poor person. If I was rich, I'd be on here. And if you couldn't touch me, I would show my face, but I'm a poor person and it's easy to destroy a poor person's life. So I don't want my real name associated with my face and all that
like
stuff.
I said, no judgment here.
That's right.
Free zone.
Yeah. We should protect ourselves. I wish more people did it, but some people need to be out, like Aaron Ra. He's in the public, so that's a different thing. But some poor person like me, nah, nobody needs to know who I am.
And I have a VPN, so I'm not too very worried about people pinging my location because of my VPN.
What does that cost you per month?
It's a yearly thing.
Oh, you pay for it per year?
Yeah. And they usually have sales. I can't remember how much I paid for it.
Does a VPN apply to a cell phone?
I'm not sure.
Anybody I don't have a home. Know? I don't have a home computer. I don't want to invest money in it because I don't have the money to have someone work on it if or probably when it malfunctions.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put money into one at all. I'll just use a cell phone.
I think maybe you can, but I'm not sure. Check their sites. I use Norton, but there's others. There's Surfshark and Nord and probably others.
I'm about to get. I've decided I'm going to get Mint Mobile, that phone company that's run by or owned by the actor Ryan Reynolds. I'm a big fan of his anyway, and I really didn't think Mint Mobile was a company. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was just a skit he did. Turns out he actually owns a mobile company's entry. The entry level is $15 for like everything a month. $15 a month. So I'm getting it.
Well, see, I'm on.
I don't know why I told you that. I forgot.
I'm on food stamps and Medicaid, so I've got me a free cell phone.
I've got to get one of those. I qualify for one, so I need one. An extra phone is good to have.
Yeah, I mean, next time it pops up, go ahead and it's easy to do.
Yeah, I've got to get.
You just answer a few questions,
Yeah, I don't have a current identification. I let my state ID lapse. It's been lapsed a few months now. I need to get down there and get it renewed. I think I can do it online, actually. I can't get the phone until I get that. I inquired about the phone a few days ago.
Robert, you're great, man. You're great.
Oh, protect us from your awesomeness. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna go back to bed, not go to sleep yet, but at least go lay down, watch some Logic. I love Logic.
Oh, don't you?
Oh yeah, man, he and Aaron are, of course, Logic's a lot funnier than Aaron, but
Right. But he
he
tries to be.
yeah, but I mean, Logic's supposed to be funnier
Right.
than Aaron. You know, Aaron's more of the educational type. You know,
Yeah.
like I am. I dangle with the entertainment, especially with my rebuttals. You know, but I'm more the educator, because even in my rebuttals, I'm more of an educator than an entertainer.
Well, you certainly have educated me on the Apostle Paul. I really enjoyed the.
Oh, the Apostle Paul was a motherfucker.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was, and I think he might have been a bisexual motherfucker or a gay motherfucker too.
Well, you know, he
He's
did
either-
say, you know, if you have to marry, go ahead and marry. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I think his thorn in his flesh may have been a willy in his hoo ha.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah, something he had to deal with all his life, and we know gay don't go away. Gay's not a preference. Gay's not a choice. None of your inclinations towards sexuality of any kind is a choice. It's visceral. It comes. You are attracted. You think pretty is where you find it, and you just don't have a choice in it.
Yeah, Dark Matter 2525. He just mistyped that.
Yeah, Dark Matter's God. That dude is awesome. He has, for someone who's not a Christian, just to read the Bible from outside the way he does, it's amazing how what he sees. He sees things that I never saw.
Yeah. And Jeffrey, he's like, God, we got a problem. What, Jeffrey? What? Always with the problems.
I know. Jeffrey.
What, God?
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Have you seen his entire series on Power Corrupts?
I've not seen all of it. I've seen most of it.
It's a mind screw.
Especially the first ones. You
Uh-huh.
know, I always thought that his Power Corrupt series was always about, you know, an almighty God with the angel Jeffrey. And then I started out with the first and second episodes and whatnot, and found out that it was this simulation.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. It's like so fucking awesome.
Yeah. He really,
How did he even think of that?
I don't know. Hats off to him. That's deep. You got, I'd have to, if I had that idea, I'd have to keep track of so many thoughts on paper. I don't even think I could keep up with it. But his treatment of it with Jeffrey and the school experiment, just absolutely masterpiece. I love every one of them.
Yeah, and Lucy.
If I had money, he would have some.
Into the simulation.
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
Lucy getting into the simulation somehow.
Yeah. Lucifer's a woman. I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
A scorned woman, so she gets into the simulation to fuck it up.
Pretty
At
good
least
stuff.
I think so. I can't
Yeah,
remember right now. Yeah.
I think Lucifer in real life was Lucy, the girl that that Yahweh was attracted to and couldn't get the attention of.
Yeah.
And so Lucy comes in to. Seems like she's not an antagonist. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's deep. It's on the level of Dune or Star Wars. in my little mind, it is.
Yeah.
Well, honey, I have enjoyed the hell out of this. I'm gonna get off here and feed myself something.
Okay. Well, I've tried to be a little more clever with my titles, so hopefully you've seen that.
What titles are you talking about?
For my rebuttals.
Oh. Are you responding to something in the chat?
No. I'm just telling you I've been trying to be more clever with my titles. Like,
thumbnail titles of the video, you mean?
Yeah. Like with
imagine it'd be hard.
TV shows and whatnot.
Right.
So anyway, alrighty. Well, thanks for dropping by. I'm gonna get off here too.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Alrighty. Bye. Bye,
All right, y'all
everyone.
have a good night.
Thanks for stopping by.